Hello my dear students, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with you for the energy chapter, which is the second part of the video series that we started for class 8 ICSE. बट किसी और भी चीज़ में अगर आपको ये यूज़ करना है जहाँ पे आप एनर्जी का चैप्टर पढ़ रहे हो तो ये वहाँ पे भी यूज़फुल हो सकता है, सीबीएसई के लिए भी हो सकता है, 9th और 10th के लिए भी इक्वली इम्पॉर्टेंट है एंड यूज़फुल भी. तो चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now in this particular video, we'll be discussing more about kinetic energy. How do we define kinetic energy? What are some examples of kinetic energy? In the previous video, we have studied about the potential energy. Now it's the turn of kinetic energy. So potential and kinetic energy together are termed as mechanical energy, right? So we have studied that potential energy is there in a body because of its position or configuration, right? Now we will learn about what is kinetic energy. So as the term says kinetic, that means some things which are in motion, right? So we are going to learn about the objects or the bodies which are in motion, and when they are in motion they possess some kind of energy, and that energy is termed as kinetic energy. So how do we define that? It is the form of energy which is possessed by the body by virtue of its motion. और एल्स हम ऐसे भी बोल सकते हैं कि काइनेटिक एनर्जी ऑफ द बॉडी इज द एनर्जी पजेस्ड बाय बॉडी ड्यू टू इट्स स्टेट ऑफ मोशन. So as simple as that, you see any body which is moving will have or will possess the kinetic energy. We can use Ke as kinetic energy, or we can even denote it with K, right? So it is the energy of the body which is in motion. Now, how do we say that it has got the energy? So, होता क्या है? Suppose you say that the body is at rest initially. Now, imagine there's a football on the ground which is at rest, and suppose you kick that ball. है ना? When you kick that football, it gets into motion. So, to put that into motion, you have used your energy. You have applied force, and because of that application of force, the energy that you have is being transferred into the body, which starts moving like a football, right? So if a body is initially at rest, which is made to move, and the work that you are doing on that particular body will be stored as kinetic energy in that particular body. So that's how it gains that energy. We are rather giving it when we set that object in motion, right? So that's how we understand the concept of kinetic energy. Now, kinetic energy of the body will be equal to the work done on the body. Isn't it simple? जैसे मैंने जितना भी effort डाला है, जितना भी work किया है to kick that football, the same amount of energy will be stored in that body. So it is as simple as that, right? Okay. We'll see some examples. जैसे मैंने बोला कि हाँ, कोई भी body अगर motion में है तो it will possess the energy. So you can see some pictures over here. There's a a bowling court where the ball is there, and you move that ball, it rolls on the ground, and it makes it everything fall there. तो ये क्या है? Because it has energy, it is able to do some kind of work. तो वो all the bottles will be fallen down because the bigger ball that you are pushing has got some energy, isn't it? Then we see a man is walking. मतलब हम भी simply just walk करते हैं, run करते हैं. So do you think we also possess energy that time? Yes, we also possess kinetic energy when we are moving. Same way, there's a boat that you can see is moving on the water. Will it also have kinetic energy? Yes, definitely, because some work is being done on that particular boat to move it, and that is being stored as the kinetic energy in that. So simply talking about a car which is moving. Of course, it is moving because of some efforts being put by the engine. So that is also being converted into the kinetic energy. So you talk about any body in the universe, any object in the universe which is in motion is going to possess the kinetic energy. As simple as that, right? Okay. So can we actually calculate it? Is there any expression? Is there any formula to calculate? Definitely, there is a formula which says suppose the body is having mass m, right? Body is having mass m and it is moving. तो move करेगा तो it will have some speed, right? So the speed is considered as v, right? Suppose if a body is having mass m and it is moving with the speed v, then we can calculate the energy of it, the kinetic energy of it, by using a formula Ke, or K equals to half mv square. Half into mv square is the formula that we will be using for solving the numericals. So what is going to be the SI unit of kinetic energy? Since it is also energy, the unit is going to be same as any other form of energy, which is going to be joule. So joule is the SI unit of kinetic energy, and the formula we use is half mv square, where m is the mass, v is the velocity with which the body is moving. Now based on the formula, okay, I will write down the formula over here, half mv square to find out. So I say K equal to half mv square. Now looking at the formula, can we find out the factors which affect the kinetic energy? Yes, okay. We have two factors here. First is the mass of the body, the second is the velocity of the body or the speed of the body, right? So looking at the formula, we can make out if the mass is greater, of course the kinetic energy is going to be more, isn't it? वैसे ही आपका velocity भी है, they are in direct proportion, right? So velocity अगर ज़्यादा है object का, so that becomes your second factor. Velocity or speed, you can term it as, it doesn't matter, so it's the same considering it's moving in the same direction. So the speed of the body. So first is mass, the second is speed. अगर body का speed ज़्यादा है तो उसमें जो kinetic energy होने वाली है वो भी ज़्यादा रहेगी, right? So these are the factors, and where did we get these factors? From the formula itself. So it is as simple as that. We can just simply say that okay, factors are coming from the formula which say mass and speed. दोनों भी direct proportion में है, correct? Okay. Now, how can we say that, how is the kinetic energy is dependent on the speed? तो आप imagine करो कि आप, you're playing carom. You're sitting on that, you're sitting with a carom board, you're trying to play the carom. So imagine जब आप उसमें ज़्यादा force लगाते हो, ज़्यादा effort लगा के आप striker को push करते हो, what happens? The striker will gain more kinetic energy. And when it gains more kinetic energy, what is the result? It will move little farther. The more the energy that you are giving, it will take that much of energy and move with greater speed, or else it can even move little farther distance, right? So if the striker hits the coins with that high speed, what happens? The kinetic energy, because it has more kinetic energy, the longer will be the distance covered by the coins. तो आप अगर जितना जोर से उसको स्ट्राइकर को पुश करोगे उतना ही वो ज़्यादा coins displace करेगा, उतना ही chances है that you might get few more points. So that is how it depends on the speed. The more energy you give to the object, the more speed it will gain, and also it will rather travel with for the more distance, I would say. So it's going to help in carom. So everywhere it is dependent. So kinetic energy will always depend on the speed. But remember, it's not directly proportional to the speed, but it is directly proportional to the square of the speed. That is v square. So that also will be considered later when you solve the examples, right? Now, conversion of potential energy into kinetic energy. We have seen that the mechanical energy is a combination of potential and kinetic. So they will always be there, and one form will always get converted into the other. So in this case, what happens is potential energy cannot be put into work directly. For the potential energy to be used, it will always get converted into the kinetic energy. So potential energy, we say, right, ki, we have lifted an object and kept on some height or something like that. Just staying there, it is not going to be of any help to us. When it starts moving down and when it gets converted into kinetic energy, then only it can help us doing some useful work. So potential energy by itself cannot do any work. It has to get converted into the kinetic energy for some useful work. So in the absence, like if we think about motion of any object, if there is no friction, so in the absence of friction, the sum of potential energy and kinetic energy always remains constant at each instance. So इसका मतलब क्या है, ये मैं आगे वाले examples में आपको बताऊंगी, right? So at any point, if there is no friction, the sum of potential and kinetic energy will always remain equal or constant at every point, every instant. This is called as law of conservation of mechanical energy. What is it called as? Law of conservation of mechanical energy. हम आगे जाके इसको सीखेंगे कि क्या है ये लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एनर्जी, या कैसे टोटल एनर्जी इज ऑलवेज सेम. Okay, yeah. Now here we'll see some example. which explains us that how the conversion happens from potential to kinetic, and how the total energy or total mechanical energy will always be same at any instant. So we are considering a ball which is kept at some height. तो आप इसमें देख सकते हो in the first diagram, which has I'll just mark it as 1. So there's a ball kept at some height, right? Now what kind of energy will it possess? Since it has been moved away from the ground, it possesses only the potential energy. Is it in motion right now? No. So it only possesses potential energy. Why? Because we have put in that effort, we have done work on that particular ball to keep it on top of something, right? So it possesses only potential energy at that particular point. What about the kinetic energy? Since it is not moving, the kinetic energy is 0. Now we say we just try to we drop the ball down from that the cupboard or whatever the object is. So when it starts moving down now, what happens? It is in motion. Yes. So what kind of the energy it possesses? Since it is in motion, it will possess kinetic energy. But is it also possessing any potential energy? Yes. Now why? Because if you see here, the total height is h. जो h height पे total इसको लेके गए थे, it has lost some height, but it has not become 0, isn't it? तो ये कुछ है, maybe we can name it as h1, but it is still above the ground. But that means it still possesses some amount of potential energy, and since it is moving down, it is in motion. That's why it also possesses the kinetic energy. So when a ball is in this position, suppose हम इसको बोलेंगे A position, at position B, somewhere middle, it's not exactly on the ground, not on the top also. So in position B, it will possess kinetic as well as the potential energy. And when point C, हम देखें position C, so it has almost reached the ground, yes, but it is still in motion. It has not fallen down so far. So it is in motion, so it possesses the kinetic energy, but since it has lost all the height, it does not have any potential energy. So in position C, the ball is going to have the maximum kinetic energy and 0 potential energy. So how it happens is, suppose it is on top, we consider it is having maximum potential energy, and I consider this, suppose take it as potential energy and this as kinetic energy, right? So when it is on top of the cupboard, it has only potential energy and 0 kinetic energy. The ball starts falling down. That means the kinetic energy is increasing because it is in motion, and the potential energy goes down because it is losing height. Now when it reaches close to the ground, the speed is maximum, so kinetic energy goes on increasing and it becomes maximum, and since it has lost all the height, what happens is it has 0 potential energy. But at any point of time, if you calculate, the sum of the potential and kinetic energy remains equal or constant. Now we are considering there is no air friction, or there is no any kind of friction there. So that is what it says. So kinetic energy goes on increasing, potential goes on decreasing. So ये change होते रहता है, right? But any point of time, if you calculate, your total energy or total mechanical energy will always remain constant in the absence of friction. So this is how we understand the conversion of potential energy into kinetic energy when there is a ball which is falling down from a cupboard. Okay. A few more examples, we'll see how the potential energy gets converted into kinetic energy. A classical example of it is a hydroelectric power station. Now we know that in hydroelectric power plants, the water is stored in the reservoirs which are at a higher level than the ground. Yes, so what kind of energy do they possess? The water there will possess the potential energy, right? But as we have seen, potential energy cannot be put into use unless it gets converted into the kinetic energy. So क्या होता है इसमें? When the water runs down the chutes here, yes, when the doors are opened of the dam, the water starts falling down, gets into motion where it gets converted into kinetic energy. and because of this kinetic energy of the water, what happens? There are turbines. You can see the turbines here which start rotating, and these turbines are the prime movers for the generators. तो जनरेटर में जो प्राइम मूवर मतलब मूव जनरेटर को मूव करने का काम करते हैं ये टर्बाइंस, एंड दोज टर्बाइंस विल बी coupled to the generator which will convert ultimately your mechanical energy into the electrical energy. So all this process happens because the potential energy of the water in the dam is converted into kinetic energy when it runs down the chutes, right? And it becomes useful when those turbines are rotated because of the running water. That's how the conversion happens. One more interesting example is of a roller coaster. You all enjoy sitting on the roller coasters, right? Yes? What do you feel? When you go on top, okay, you're not feeling anything till the time you reach there. When you start getting down, yes, it's a strange feeling, but you all enjoy it, isn't it? Right. So is there a conversion happening here? Now how is this conversion? Let's see. So when you reach on top of the roller coaster, the highest point, I would call it A point here, because you have reached a point, highest point rather I would say, which is away from the ground. So somebody has done a work to go against the gravity and reach at that particular point. Yes, so that work has been converted into what kind of energy? The potential energy, right? Gravitational potential energy. But is the cart moving yet? You've just reached there, not started going down, okay? So this is the start of the roller coaster ride. So when you're on top there, you have the total energy. Your total energy is equal to the potential energy, and since the cart has not started moving, the kinetic energy is 0, right? Now, after this, you start moving down. So when you start moving, what happens? Your potential energy is, you are losing the potential energy because आप height lose कर रहे हो, है ना? आप नीचे जा रहे हो. But at the same time, the cart is moving also, right? So when the cart is moving, the kinetic energy increases, and since you are losing height, the potential energy comes to 0 at point B, जो बिल्कुल ground के पास है. And आपका पूरा energy किस में convert हो गया है? Kinetic energy. Right? So the total energy is again equal to E. Now you reach a point C somewhere which is not exactly on top, not exactly on bottom. So somewhere in the middle. है ना? So you have not lost the whole height and you're also moving, right? So आपका potential energy क्या होने वाला है? Assume it's something as E1, right? And then your kinetic energy will be what? Total energy minus the potential energy at any point. So if I try and add this, I can see here P is equal to E, right? At position A, then at position B आप क्या देखोगे? Your kinetic energy is equal to the total energy, and if I see at point C, I will add E1, then what? Your kinetic energy is equal to E minus E1. So if I add both of them, like potential and kinetic, what do I get? Ultimately is my E. E1 minus E, and you can simply add E1. So ultimately क्या होने वाला है आपका? Total energy is going to remain same, which is E. So at any point of time, if you see in any of the examples, now here we are considering a frictionless surface, है ना? तो frictionless surface पे या friction जहाँ पे भी absent होगा वहाँ पे आपका total energy is always going to be sum of kinetic and potential energy. That's how we look at this conversion and come to a conclusion that the law of conservation of energy is being followed in all these examples. Wasn't all this a very interesting topic today? If you like it, please subscribe to my channel and share the video to as many as you can. Thank you so much. Have a good day.